What's happening, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to Junk Drummer TV. I saw Megadeth. I saw Dave Mustaine. I was like 20 feet away from him because I overpaid to be in the pit, and it was worth every penny. This Destroy All Enemies tour is great. Two of the three bands are amazing. All That Remains, Phil Labonte has one of the strongest voices that I've ever seen live. Jason Richardson is one of the sickest guitar players that I've ever seen live. That band is amazing. Why isn't All That Remains bigger? They should be bigger, right? I'm not super familiar with their whole discography, but I definitely knew a few of the songs that they played, and I was blown away by them. Holy shit. Phil Labonte's voice is only matched by his biceps. And Jason Richardson, he plays the guitar up here like the farther up you play on your body, the smarter you are as a guitarist. It's science. Check it out. And he's definitely one of those guys. That band fucking ruled. So great. I bought a shirt. Then Mudvayne played. Then Dave motherfucking Mustaine came out at 65 years old and played with the kind of like perfection and soul that you get when you've done this for as long as he has. When you get the opportunity to see someone at his age, and I'm not trying to bury him, but he is 65 years old. His vocals were dead on. His playing was so clean and so perfect. And the band in general was so great. And the show was very stripped down. It was an okay light show with just a Megadeth tapestry in the back and just four dudes with instruments murdering it. I know this will sound cliche because of their, one record. It was like watching symphony players. When I went to college, my college was was the first college that you got to on the way to the capital city where the symphony was. And the symphony players would come in and use our practice rooms as warm up spots before they went to go to symphony practice. I used to sit outside of the practice rooms and watch them and watch like a snare drummer play a perfect buzz roll for 10, 15 minutes. And that's what it was like. I smiled for 90 straight minutes. 90 straight minutes of perfection, of like songs that brought me back. I hadn't seen a show in a long time. I think the last concert I went to was Tool pre-pandemic a couple years, because up until the pandemic, I was always on the road and I never got to see shows. I missed two Tom Petty shows because I had shows. I'm so glad I got to see this. The guitar player in my metal band is one of my best friends. Told me, hey, we're going to Megadeth. I was like, okay, that's great. How much money do I owe you? I also went like a kind of like a Republican because I went to the VIP. I got a t-shirt, I got a tote, and then I got to sit or stand right up front. I thought festival seating was illegal in most places, but I guess it's not. And I got to see all these songs that brought me back to when I was just a fan that had a drum set in his mom and dad's basement, and listening to Angry Again and fucking Holy Wars, which was the encore. Listening to Tornado of Souls was pretty appropriate because a tornado just went by my house literally 2 days ago. An eye of tornado. If you get a chance to see Megadeth, go spend all of the money to see them. Oh, just a few opinions on the concert goers these days. Up front in the festival seating section was Gen Xers and older cats who were there to stand and watch. And then a few, youngins who decided to cosplay a little circle mosh. It was very tame. These cats have never almost lost their lives in a fucking mosh pit, which I almost did at a Pantera show once. If you are going to crowd surf, if you've watched 90s videos and you are a Zoomer or a millennial and you feel the need to crowd surf, here's a pro tip. If you're crowd surfing, you gotta keep your hands available. Every crowd surfer was doing this shit and filming themselves. And I watched two people go down head first. One got carted out by the EMTs, and the one over there to our left who went ass over ass over tea kettle, legs up in the air. They must have been okay because they didn't get carted out. Look, Zoomers, millennials, you do not have to document everything. Just crowd surf. It's fun. I've done it. But don't trust these strangers with your safety. You got to have hands available to catch yourself when they inevitably drop you. And that's what they're going to do. That's just a little public service from Junk Drummer TV to you. Dave Mustaine, I think, is underrated. I'm going to say it, going out on the fucking limb. Underrated. And maybe recency bias. But look, Metallica gets all the love. Slayer gets all the love. It seems like Megadeth ends up being third, fourth, or fifth in that conversation because Pantera's in there. If you think of like greatest, American metal bands, period. Dave Mustaine's the fucking man. And if you don't respect the fact that he's still doing it at an age where a lot of people decline in their abilities, do you like joy? Do you like joy? Go see Megadeth. That's what you should do. Dirk on the drums, murdered it all night. It was very interesting to watch him, play all of these songs with, like Gar Samuelson songs and Nick Menza songs. And they played this one tune, Washington's Next, which is a new song to me. And you could tell he played on that track. And to watch how he kind of came alive, I was like, oh shit, this is my contribution to the Megadeth discography. The bass player, not Dave Ellefson, older cat, killer. The guitar player, I don't remember his name. He looked like a younger, more handsome Nuno Betancourt, and he's a European guy. Murdered it. Holy shit, it was so good. It was so, like, it was perfect, but it had that soul that 80s metal bands still put in their music. I think one of the things that is missing in really uber modern metal is they forget to feel it and put that soul in it. Megadeth still does. All That Remains should be far more popular than they are. And I know in some circles they are. But hell, I've opened up for them about 9 or 10 years ago. My band opened up for them. But now they're opening up for Megadeth. So fucking good on them. They deserve it. Mudvayne, they definitely came on stage. And, you know what I mean? Megadeth, see them. I can't recommend it enough. If this tour is still going and you have a chance, go see it. And you're welcome. And I'll see you next time.